The story opens at a hotel. A man named Wei Kang is in the middle of beating two thugs who came to kill him. Even with bare hands, he drops them without much effort. A group of people arrives and freezes at the site. Right then, Wei Kang gets a text from his wife, asking about a teenage girl he is supposed to be watching. No one there knew who he really was. This is the killer. We jump back a few days. Wei Kang is lounging on the sofa, reading and sipping his coffee. His wife, Hyun Soo, tells him she is heading to Jeju Island with her best friend to discuss a restaurant they want to open. They will be gone for 2 weeks, and that friend, Seo Ah, wants to leave her 17-year-old stepdaughter in Wei Kang's care while they are away. He pushes back, saying he is not a babysitter, especially if the girl will be staying in their house. After a brief argument, he gives in and agrees. The next day, he drives Hyun-soo and Seo-ah to the airport and promises to look after Yoon-ji, Seo-ah's stepdaughter. That night, he picks up Yoon-ji, who shows up with a friend. She tells him she wants to stay at her friend's place for a few days and asks him to keep it secret from her mother. He agrees without hesitation, thinking he will finally get some quiet time without minding a teenager. He asks for Yoon-ji's bag, slips some cash inside, returns it, and drops her at the friend's house. Then he heads home to sleep. Not long after, a call wakes him. It sounds like Yoon-ji in pain, begging him to come to her location. He rushes to the address, only to find her perfectly fine, sitting in a cafe with a young man. When Wei Kang arrives, she introduces the guy and casually says Wei Kang is her uncle. She explains the boy is her senior at school. Wei Kang does not like him, but he lets it go and asks why she is still out so late. He tries to shut down her plan to sleep over at her friend's house and tells her to come home. She blows him off, which annoys him even more, so he leaves and drives away. A moment later, he sees her riding off on the back of the senior's motorcycle. He wants to wash his hands of it, but then a text from Hyun-soo comes in, asking how Yoon-ji is doing. Wei Kang turns the car around and decides to tail Yoon-ji, using the tracker he placed earlier in her wallet. Yoon-ji is brought by her senior to an ice skating rink, but this is not just a place to hang out. Here she is introduced to a woman named Sung-yo. Sung-yo is involved in a criminal scheme. She uses attractive young men to lure innocent girls into meeting them. Then the girls are kidnapped and sold. It becomes clear that both Yoon-ji and her friend are the next targets. Her friend begs to be released, but Sung-yo responds with a slap. Yoon-ji tries to fight back, but Sung-yo is stronger and quickly overpowers her. Just when things get worse, Wei Kang arrives. He steps in and demands that Sung-yo let the girls go. Sung-yo ignores him and orders her men to attack. What she does not realize is that Wei Kang is not someone she should underestimate. He defeats her men with ease, and with one solid strike, Sung-yo falls. Wei Kang brings Yoon-ji home and tells her to rest. The next morning, Yoon-ji watches him with curiosity and asks about his job. He simply says he works in property and avoids any personal questions. That night, Wei Kang takes Yoon-ji out to dinner. On their way back, they pass the same skating rink. Now it is surrounded by police tape, officers moving in and out of the scene. Something serious has happened there. Police begin stopping cars in the area. One of them, a detective named Lee Young-ho, questions Wei Kang about the murder that took place at the rink. Wei Kang stays calm and answers each question. But Yoon-ji's behavior is tense, like she is hiding something. Once home, Wei Kang searches the news and is shocked. The victims are the same boys he fought the night before. Meanwhile, Yoon-ji is alone in her room, upset, angrily messaging someone. The following day, Detective Young-ho shows up at Wei Kang's house. He brings CCTV footage showing Wei Kang's car passing the crime scene shortly before the murder. He also has footage of Yoon-ji driving with one of the victims, all of whom were her schoolmates. Still, Wei Kang refuses to explain anything. The detective becomes suspicious and starts questioning his relationship with Yoon-ji. Wei Kang simply reminds him that he was only asked to watch over her while the women are in Jeju. He tells the detective that unless he has clear proof linking them to the murder, there is nothing to discuss. If he does, then he is welcome to bring them both in for questioning officially. Once Detective Young-ho leaves, Wei Kang goes to Yoon-ji and asks her to tell him the truth if she knows anything about the murder at the skating rink. While looking at her, he is reminded of a moment from his past, when he once encountered a girl who was ready to end her life. He approached her calmly, asked what she needed, and offered her a comforting embrace. She collapsed into his arms. That memory stays with him. His thoughts are interrupted when Yunji's phone rings. The call is from Sung Yo. Wei Kang takes the phone and answers. Sung Yo tells him she has a knife with his fingerprints on it, something that could easily frame him for murder if she hands it to the police. She demands a meeting within the hour, or she will make sure the knife is found. Wei Kang prepares to go, and he tells Yunji to stay at home. She refuses because she is scared to be alone. He warns her she will only complicate things, so he gives her a bracelet with a tracking device, just in case something goes wrong. He then arms himself and heads out, ready for whatever may happen. Meanwhile, Sung Yo is feeling confident, believing she has full control of the situation. What she does not know is that Wei Kang is a retired professional killer, once feared across the criminal underworld. Wei Kang arrives at an apartment and comes face to face with Yang, Sung Yo's cousin and the man running the trafficking ring. Zhang calls in one of his enforcers, a large and intimidating man, but Zhang has underestimated who he is facing. Wei Kang dismantles the man with ease, beating and breaking him without hesitation. Sung Yo rushes out when she hears the noise and is shocked to see Wei Kang standing there. He demands the knife. Instead of cooperating, both she and Yang draw their weapons. But eventually, Zhang hands over the knife, then tries to flee with Sung Yo. Wei Kang chases them, following them into a dimly lit room. There he encounters another fighter, someone far stronger and more skilled than the rest. The two engage in a brutal, evenly matched fight, blow for blow, strike for strike. In the end, Wei Kang manages to injure the man badly, forcing him to retreat. After the fight, Wei Kang rushes home, only to find the house broken into. Yunji has been taken. Without hesitation, he uses the tracker hidden in her bracelet and follows the signal. It leads him to an apartment building used as a base for trafficking young girls. Inside, he hears screams. One of the girls is Yunji's friend, being attacked. Wei Kang steps in, takes the attacker down, and demands to know where Yunji is. Sung Yo is in the building as well. She tries to escape, but Wei Kang catches her. When she refuses to talk, he restrains her and forces the truth out of her. She reveals everything. Yang's group recruits underage girls, uses them to lure wealthy men, then blackmails those men for money. The operation is protected by corrupt police officers who share the profits.
네가 성생을 해봐.
Finally, she tells him the most important part. Yunji and several other girls are scheduled to be shipped to Russia. She gives him the hotel location where they are being held. At that same moment, Detective Young Ho arrives after receiving a noise complaint. He finds Sung Yo beaten and barely conscious. Wei Kang is long gone. Meanwhile, Wei Kang reaches the hotel and begins cutting through the gang members guarding the place. Even alone, he handles them with precision, using blades and firearms. It does not take long before the floor is covered with bodies. He gets information from the last survivors, then kills them when they have nothing more to offer.
살려주세요. 제발 살려주세요.
좋아. 대신 거짓말이면
저 진짜 몰라요. 정말이에요. 잠시만요. 그 누가 알고 있는지도 알아요. 당연히 유치원 제가 알고 있거든요.
레게 머리야.
Suddenly, a man with blonde hair appears. He introduces himself as Yuri, a Russian hitman. This is the same man Wei Kang fought earlier in the dark hallway. Yuri reveals that Yunji is set to be transported on a ship leaving at 8 in the morning. Time is running out. They clash again, and the fight is intense. Each one matches the other's strength and skill. During the struggle, Wei Kang tricks Yuri and then leaps out of a high window. He crashes down right onto the hood of a car. The driver is Detective Young Ho, who has been tracking him. Young Ho immediately points a gun at him and accuses him of murdering Sung Yo and the boys at the skating rink. Wei Kang stays calm, just like before. Then he seizes Young Ho's gun and turns the situation around. With no time left, he cuffs both Young Ho and Yuri together and forces them into the car. Wei Kang gets behind the wheel and speeds off. Wei Kang reaches the port just in time. Yunji is moments away from being forced onto a ship bound for Russia. He moves fast, taking down the gang members guarding her and pulling her to safety. But Yang shows up. He tries to run Wei Kang down with a car. Wei Kang dodges, corners him, and demands to know who is controlling everything behind the scenes. Zhang refuses to talk, so Wei Kang ends it right there. Seeing this up close, Detective Young Ho finally realizes that Wei Kang is far more dangerous than he ever imagined. Wei Kang takes Zhang's phone and finds something important. Young Ho was working with Zhang the whole time, helping protect the trafficking ring from inside the police force. With this evidence in hand, Wei Kang turns to Young Ho. If the detective wants to keep his career and avoid being exposed, he must follow Wei Kang's instructions from now on. Young Ho agrees, and Wei Kang's name is cleared of the murder accusations. Yunji is rushed to the hospital for treatment. Wei Kang stays with her as she recovers. She blames herself for everything that happened, but he gently tells her that none of this was her fault, urging her to rest and focus on healing. Later, Young Ho visits Wei Kang at the hospital. Wei Kang reveals that he already figured out Young Ho had killed Sung Yo and tried to frame him. Now he needs Young Ho to dig deeper. There is a Russian mafia network behind the trafficking, and Yunji is only one of many girls they target. Young Ho refuses at first, afraid of the consequences, but he has no real choice anymore. He agrees. A few days pass. Wei Kang meets an old associate named Hyun-ju, a former weapons dealer who retired after an injury. Wei Kang asks for a sniper rifle and a silenced handgun. Hyun-ju is surprised, thinking Wei Kang had left this life behind for good. Wei Kang simply says he has unfinished business. That night, Young Ho calls with new information. There is a man named Park, a key member of the syndicate responsible for transporting the girls overseas. Yunji was one of his intended shipments. Park is furious when he learns that his men have been killed and that the police are catching on to his operation. He begins packing to run, but he is already too late. Wei Kang arrives ahead of him and wipes out every guard in the building with almost no effort at all. He does it calmly, even while drinking a cup of coffee. With everyone else gone, Park has nowhere left to run. Wei Kang corners him and demands answers about the trafficking network. Park refuses at first, but when Wei Kang raises his weapon, the truth comes out. Park reveals that he works under a woman known as Mama Pig. Together, they supply underage girls to wealthy clients. Their customers are not ordinary criminals, but powerful people, including high-ranking officials and rich businessmen. Recently, Mama Pig was ordered to provide 5 girls to serve a supreme judge named Kim, a man protected by political power and influence. Park explains how the operation works. They target unstable high school girls and lure them with money, slowly pulling them into a world they cannot escape. They also trade victims with a Russian syndicate, sending girls overseas and receiving others to work in Korea. Once Wei Kang gets the information he needs, he kills Park. He then makes a phone call. Moments later, a cleanup crew arrives, led by a man named Tae-hyun. Tae-hyun is surprised to hear from Wei Kang, because Wei Kang was supposed to be retired. But Wei Kang tells him he needs help. There is a job coming, and it will require a team and a lot of firepower. Tae-hyun refuses at first, but when Wei Kang offers triple the usual pay, he agrees. The next day, Wei Kang finally gets the weapons he requested from Hyun-ju and tests them on site. Later, he returns to the hospital to see Yunji, who is devastated after learning that her friend, also a victim, chose to end her life. While there, Wei Kang calls Young Ho to ask about Yunji's past. Young Ho explains that Yunji was adopted by Seoa after her biological mother died when she was 5. He also reveals more about Kim, the judge. Kim comes from an influential family, protected by wealth and political connections. There is no way to put him in prison. But Wei Kang is not interested in prison. He plans to send Kim somewhere else. Young Ho then adds one more important detail. Kim will be hosting a private party at a mansion owned by his family, a place where their crimes stay hidden. Kim throws a private party at his mansion, surrounded by women and luxury, believing he is untouchable. Outside, Wei Kang positions himself with the sniper rifle he acquired. One by one, he takes out every guard posted around the estate. The outer security collapses before anyone inside even realizes something is wrong. Yuri, who works for Kim, notices something is off when none of his men respond to his calls. He knows someone has broken in. Meanwhile, Wei Kang slips into the mansion and is immediately met with gunfire from Yuri's crew. He fights back while moving through the halls, and soon, Young Ho appears. Now siding with Kim and Yuri, Young Ho points a gun at Wei Kang and threatens to kill him. Wei Kang could overpower them easily, but he chooses not to. He lets himself be captured, allowing them to bring him directly to Kim. Inside, Kim is with a terrified teenage girl who desperately wants to escape. Young Ho claims he is no longer afraid and shows Wei Kang that he has handed over the evidence of his corruption in exchange for Kim's protection. Wei Kang remains calm. He expected this betrayal. Once Young Ho and the guards leave the room, Kim drags the girl toward his private chamber. But before he can do anything, Wei Kang makes his move. He breaks free, takes down the guards, and eliminates them quickly. He picks up Young Ho's gun and kills him without hesitation. The betrayal is repaid on the spot. Then Yuri arrives and the two meet again for a final showdown. Both men are highly trained killers. Their fight is brutal, close, and relentless. They use every weapon and every technique they know. Eventually, Wei Kang gains the upper hand. He strikes hard, and Yuri collapses, falling into the middle of the party below. Panic erupts as guests flee in terror. Meanwhile, Kim remains unaware of the chaos. He believes the night is still his to enjoy. But when he enters his room, he finds Wei Kang waiting for him, gun in hand. Kim tries to call for help, only to learn that no help is coming. Everyone who could protect him is already dead. He then tries to negotiate, promising to keep Wei Kang safe from the law forever. For a moment, Wei Kang seems to consider it. Then he reminds Kim that he has retired from that life and now lives as an honest man. Before anything else, Wei Kang demands the truth. He wants to know about Mama Pig, and Kim reveals the shocking answer. Mama Pig is Seo-ah. Kim admits the truth. Seo-ah was the one running everything behind the scenes, and she even agreed to sell her own stepdaughter, Yoon-ji, for profit. The entire trafficking network was her creation. Wei Kang listens in silence. He turns to leave, and for a moment, Kim believes he is safe. But then Wei Kang turns back, laughs, and shoots him without hesitation. Kim dies instantly. Meanwhile, on Jeju Island, Seo-ah is having lunch with Hyun-soo, completely unaware of what has happened. She steps away to answer a call she believes is from Kim. But when she sits in her car and picks up the phone, it is not Kim's voice she hears. Wei Kang is already sitting in the back seat, waiting for her. He tells her that Kim is dead. Park is dead. Yang is dead. Every piece of her criminal empire has fallen. Seo-ah had worked with Young Ho to frame Wei Kang, accusing him of harming Yoon-ji so she could control him with threats. But now the power is in his hands. She made the mistake of involving his wife, and that is something he will never forgive. Wei Kang orders her to drive. He tells her that from now on, he and Hyun-soo will raise Yoon-ji. They will protect her until she is old enough to live her own life. They drive to a deserted area. When they arrive, Wei Kang ends it. One final shot, Seo-ah collapses.
죽어도 되는 년이야!
He steps out of the car and begins walking away. From the opposite direction, a van approaches. Tae-hyun and his cleanup crew have arrived to take care of everything. This part of the work is already understood. Later, Wei Kang meets Hyun-soo at the beach. Together, they watch the sunset. He tells her that he kept his promise. Yoon-ji will stay with them, and they will take her on vacation together, just as planned. The film ends with Hyun-soo smiling softly and embracing him. And in that moment, we finally understand the memory from Wei Kang's past. The girl he once saved long ago, the one he pulled back from despair, was Hyun-soo herself. So the moral of the story is, if someone asks you to babysit, just say no, because next thing you know, You are fist-fighting the Russian mafia, corrupt cops, human traffickers, and also accidentally adopting a teenager.